All right, Big Bang. Today is Monday. It is April 17th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports Snake Draft Monday. We are joined on Zoom by the Twisted History fellows, Large and Vibbs. Vibbs, welcome back. It's been a long time. I know we're feeling redemption today.
The sauce.
Yeah, I desperately need it after I just bombed on the sauces.
You got like a 3-year ban from that.
No,
yeah. Well, granted, what are you doing having a 100-pound dude doing sauces? Like, that's
Vibbs, I tried to reach out multiple times. You can confirm that. And you're like, we were just like scheduling, and you're like, but I need redemption so bad.
Yeah, because you tried to reach out game shows. I would have loved to do game shows, but I had to do like Most Dangerous Game, like the recap or something like that at the same time, so I couldn't get on. So I'm very ready for this topic.
I mean, this is right up your alley. This is it. Gross foods. This is your life, Vibbs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Large, how are you? Great to have you back. I think the last one we had you for was the potato draft, which I think was over a year and a half ago. It was a while too.
That was a good draft, though.
Who won that draft?
We all won.
That is true.
Yeah.
A potato, as simple as it is a superior food.
Yeah.
I love potatoes in all forms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vibbs was saying how he wasn't feeling too confident because he had fucked up sauces. And I said, I'm sure it's going to come up today who has the lowest single answer in the history of this fucking draft. We'll just get that out of the way right now. It's 100% me, number one with a bullet, by bringing baby lamb chops to a barbecue.
And ironically enough, because that was the worst pick of that draft, I took burrata, and that's where like the burrata thing spun out of control. We were in the same draft on that. I feel like you and I would put together a nice little summer barbecue. Be great.
Yeah, I mean, according to your fans, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But he tried to make me feel good about it. He's like, no, I said we were doing it sort of a different way. But either way.
I love your Eddie. You do that again. Do that again.
No, Large, it was before we started putting it together. So even though the percentage looks off, it was because it was in its infancy. You know, Carol, help me out here. And then, but still, like, if you just look at the raw numbers, it was absolutely awful.
I'll always get tagged in those. Be like, what's going on? I was like, Large just doing impressions.
Yeah.
Nice. I get a kick out of it.
I wish I were better at impressions. I got the Joker, and that's it.
Yeah.
I stink at them.
Your Joker's great, though.
I don't know where it comes from. Like for some reason, like the first time I did it was on the dog walk a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, that was actually pretty good. Like I did it, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. I digress. Large, Vibbs, where do you stand on Oystergate?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're talking about, Large?
Alex, you want to go first? That's pretty wild, ordering one thing for yourself when you're with a bunch of people. That's just insane.
What if I'm paying for it?
Large, you
I'm
look like
paying for it.
Chief. Lay it out quickly to Large if you can, please.
Yeah. So
I can't believe you weren't in on this because Cons wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
And
I punch him
I
in the
mentioned
face.
Large by name in the blog too, but we've had a couple of steak dinners with the boys in the last 6 weeks or so, and Dave does this thing where he like tries to commandeer the menu, and he always just like, I don't know, he just goes crazy, and it's like there's only a couple people in the company that I would trust to just commandeer the menu. It would be Large and Dante.
Then don't eat the fucking food. I'm paying for it.
Dave just not one of those guys.
Why did you
Steakhouse.
bring it up if it's going to make you upset?
Yeah, because no one's
Because
been
I
on
want to
his
hear
side.
it. I've had a ton of people on my side, including
all right,
Danny.
Dave, let him explain it, and then.
So Dave just tries to, we're getting 3 or 4 things for the table, and Dave always just tries to. He's like, "We'll get the lobster, the octopus," and he always does oysters. He wants oysters, and like, we had a situation where one of the people at our table, we already had one shellfish thing on there.
No. You ordered that after I said oysters immediately, and then she's like, "I got a shellfish allergy." Then you ordered the lobster.
No, it was lobster.
It was
first.
I
didn't
sat
even order
down.
it.
all right.
Anyways,
We don't need to do this.
But can Dave just always, he wanted to order oysters for the table, but then when the table was like, that doesn't really fit the vibe of the table because of certain things, we had other things we wanted, Dave was like, well, then I'll just order them and slug 12 oysters by myself. And everyone thinks that's a weird move.
No. Well, I got to correct Chief where he's incorrect. Once I found out about the shellfish allergy, I completely dropped it. But if it was like a beef dish or a side, whatever, it could have been anything. The fact that they wouldn't let me order what I wanted when I was going to pay for it, it's incorrect. And I don't care if society says so. If want something, I'm going to order it and I'm going to pay for it.
All
No
right.
one else will touch it
Large thoughts.
or touch the money. I'm going to pay for it. And if someone wants to eat it, fucking bombs away. Eat it.
I 100% agree with White Sox Dave here.
Oh, look at that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
look
totally
at
kidding.
Fuck yeah, Lars.
I'm sorry, Dave. I wanted to get you there. Well,
You got me.
I didn't know that was the Oystergate thing. I had seen that I was tagged in the blog, Chief, so I read right into the point where you're like, the only person I'd like to go to dinner with or something is me and Dante. So I retweeted it right away. I tweeted out things. I was just so honored. I thought it was a thing about itemizing bills. Like that's what I
That's
thought.
what it turned into eventually.
Yeah.
And
But Dave was
the
like,
way-
I'll just pay for it because
the way I operate is when I go to a nice place like that, which is every few months, it's not very often.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to, if I throw money out the window, it's monopoly money. It's just like conceptual to me at that point. If I want to drop $500, $600, $700 on myself and have everybody in on it, I will do that. And that's what I'm going to do moving forward. I'm going to take the entire check and I'm going to order every single thing I want. And you guys can all order what you want. And I'm going to look at it and say, hey, I'm responsible for $700 of this $1,000 tab. You guys can split up the rest of you three. And that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, I think that so that's what
That's what I meant by itemizing.
but
I didn't mean like,
that's what
I
itemizing
didn't
mean.
eat that then. I know. I was flying off the handle. That's what I meant by itemizing. I didn't say, oh, I didn't drink the wine. I'm not going to pay for the wine. I'll pay for whatever the fuck I want. Like, take my money. Take all of my money.
Yeah, that's just
No, there is no. That's how it's going to go from
all
now
right,
on.
all right.
all right.
We got
Well,
to draft.
it was
It
nice
seems to be
having
a lot of
dinners
anger
with
about
you.
it. From an itemizing type of standpoint, right away when I hear that, I get the fucking. I get the
Yes,
chills.
I fully
Like
understand
you
that.
know, like when you're going out with a buddy and all of a sudden it's like the itemizing thing. It's such a fucking turnoff.
Right.
But yeah, so
Because that just
I didn't even,
negates
you
the
didn't even
fact-
bring up the sneaking part. That was the one that made me laugh.
What was the
Was
sneaking
in
one?
Milwaukee when he was like going to pull the waitress aside so nobody could hear him ordering the oysters and the tartare. As he's like, I knew people had a problem with it. So
He
I was
said
just
that
gonna-
to
it
you.
went
I
on
was just gonna
my
have a pull
card.
fast one. I know,
wait,
but
White Sox Dave, are you a big tartare guy?
Yeah,
I
love
like
it.
tartare.
Get it.
We had tuna tartare that night too.
Oh, and was steak tartare too?
I
or
like
no?
steak tartare as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Get it
That's
all.
awesome.
Get everything. We're out to a nice dinner. Like, if money is an issue, I will cover it 100% of the time. 100% of the time.
Dave, I don't know why you're making yourself more angry. You just yelled about the
I'm
White Sox.
fired
and-
up about the White Sox. They control my mood.
all right. Let's settle down. We're having fun off the top. Vibbs is back. He's getting redemption. Large is back. He's got the lowest score in history. We're gonna have a fun day. We're gonna have a fun day.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of just one comment before we actually take off, I went with Large to Mr. Chow in Miami, and what he did with that fucking menu
Oh,
was a clinic.
see, like I want to have that
Holy
experience.
I still think about that
Yeah.
sometimes, Large. I sit there at night. I'm like, man, Large was fucking wheeling and dealing, throwing
Yeah,
98 in the
I
black.
like pride myself in doing that. I went out when I used to entertain on Wall Street. We went out like maybe twice a week with customers. So like when you start to build that up, you just get better and better at it. And particularly like places like Mr. Chow, it's a fun place to order. But when it started coming out, I remember that too, Eddie. We had a cigar on the patio afterwards.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
me, you, and Devlin.
It was lovely.
That's a treat.
Yeah, I'll tell you another quick story. We were in LA for something, and so Devlin comes out a lot with me now. Like Devlin loves going to restaurants with me, and he does some social and whatnot.
Duh.
We were at like the oldest steakhouse in LA, like Musso and Frank's, like real old school place, and it's kind of dripping with history. And I'm there, and the table is myself, KB, Jeff D. Lowe, and Devlin. That's a pretty wild table, you know what I mean? So I was like, I was about to order the sweetbreads, and people were like, oh, I don't know about sweetbreads. I was like, you know what? I'm going to order sweetbreads for the table, and you guys figure out if you want them. And then KB had something, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to order something for the table. And then when we got to Devlin ordered his meal, and he's like, you know what? Can I get a thing of fettuccine Alfredo for the table? And I was like, shit, wild order. Like you just felt compelled to do that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so it takes a little bit, to get really good for ordering for other people and taking everybody into consideration when you're doing it. but
That's
I
the key.
nail it every fucking
That's-
time. So I can't wait to get out there and eat with you guys.
Taking other people
Are
into
you-
consideration is the key, though.
Yeah.
Large.
Yeah. Large, are you coming out for NASCAR here? The road
Yes.
race? Awesome. Love
yeah,
it.
yeah, we're definitely doing the road race, which I think is going to be an absolute shit show.
Oh, it's going to be
It's
awesome.
gonna be great.
Love that. Rubbing his racing spider. Large,
Yeah.
go check it out. All right, let's do the order now. Vibbs, Harry has 1 through 5 behind his back. What number do you think it is?
2.
No.
Large.
3.
No.
1.
No.
4.
No.
5.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going to take number 1 overall.
I don't think it matters for this draft, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. It's all going to be personal preference. 1 through 4, Vibbs.
2.
Yes.
There you go, Vibbs. You want the 2, 3, or 4 or 5 slot, Vibbs?
I'll go 2.
All right, 1 through 3, Large.
3.
Yes.
I will do the I'll go right in the middle. Do the 3 spot.
1 or 2, Chief.
2.
No.
1.
Yes.
I guess I'll go 5.
All right, so Chief, you're 4. All right, so order is Eddie, Vibbs, Large, Chief, White Sox, Dave. Hey, before we sink our teeth into this thing, I do want to talk about a sponsor for today's show, and that is none other than the great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. The NFL draft is coming up. Where will that number 9 pick go? It's anyone's guess, and we've seen some wild selections over the years, but there's one selection that every football fan can share, and that's an ice cold Miller Lite. Miller Lite knows that beer lovers want their light beer to taste like beer. And that's why they brew a beer that's light on calories and not on taste. Because what's the point of having a beer if you can't taste it? Listen, Miller Lite is what I and the whole Barstool Chicago office drinks, obviously. And it's something that when I go home, go to the northwest side of Chicago, it just warms my heart seeing table after table after table, just that beautiful Miller Lite bucket, whether it's 5 beers in there, whether it's 6 Miller Lites in there. A lot of bars do it different. Some will give you only 4, but it's just a great sight to see everyone just having a good time and enjoying some Miller Lite. So till kickoff comes around again, enjoy the beer that tastes like the season. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/redline, or let's be honest, it's Miller Lite. You can pick it up pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, let's get into this draft. All right, here we go. Gross Foods draft underway. Number 1 overall picks me. And also, I was going to say, we talked a little bit beforehand. Like, what's that egg stuff that you did on Lowering the Bar, Vibbs? It was like
Which one?
it was like a
It's like a black egg.
yeah, it was like a black egg,
Yep.
something like
Century
that.
egg?
Yeah, so there's a century egg, which I think it's like a delicacy. Where at?
I believe it's China. It's
Gotcha.
definitely like Southeast Asia, China.
Gotcha. Well, I envision this draft being like, hey, it might be personally gross to me, but like real food people eat, not shit like that. But go
But go wherever you want.
Yes, go wherever you want with
yeah.
it, though.
And the way I'm going with it, I might actually like it while also recognizing that it's fucking disgusting.
That's cool too. All right. On that note, I'll take number 1 overall, and I'm gonna take a craft single.
American cheese?
Just the craft single.
They're so
specifically.
fucking gross, and he disagrees with me. I think American cheese is gross. I'll eat it on a burger or whatever, but it's so gross.
To me, it is the number 1 burger cheese.
It's
So it gets all
it's
gooey
not cheese,
and
though.
melty and pulls apart, and that's what.
I'm actually here's the thing. I'm okay with it on a burger, but it's mostly little kids. But if you eat
that's gross.
if you eat it straight up, it is the most disgusting thing in the world.
And
So-
melted cheese is always better than
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
for the most part.
Craft single.
I couldn't agree more, Ed. Would
I
have
would
been
tell
my
you
first
what,
pick.
it's the best cheese to use in an omelet.
Cheddar.
No, a craft single is probably one of the best. I mean, lobster. I don't know if you guys are lobster people.
Love it.
I'm not a huge lobster guy, but if I take home lobster from a restaurant, it's almost exclusively to make a lobster omelet the next morning. And a lobster omelet with a craft single is 100% one of the best things.
See, cheese and fish
I'm with you on that.
is a gross combo to me.
I'll have you over the house.
Lobster Mac's pretty good. So
Yeah,
That said,
true,
I'll
actually.
eat
Lobster
it.
Mac's awesome.
But something in my head, like shellfish, freaks me out.
Well, it's like
we
the
had
old,
Oystergate,
the old
obviously.
McDonald's like fish fillet with the slice of
Ugh.
cheese on there, like always
yeah.
gross me out.
So are you on the same page though that craft singles are gross though, Large, or are you going to defend the
Just
craft
to
single honor?
grab a craft single, to peel off the plastic and to eat it
Yes.
is an abomination to the Lord. But I think that, to melt it on a burger or to melt it in an omelet, it's an elite food. So I think it all depends on, what you're using it for.
And that's what I'm saying specifically. The people who eat it straight up. There's many cheeses, obviously. Fucking charcuterie. Any cheese could be good on its own, but a craft single on its own is disgusting.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Vibbs, any comment, or you could make your pick if not.
Look, right now, GM Vibbs is borderline freaking out because he prepared
Yeah.
the most disgusting foods on the planet.
See,
that
you
we
have
You
have
can
access.
do that though.
Yeah.
You know what,
You've
Vibbs,
had
you-
experience.
But
Yeah.
I'm not going to panic because that's what I would have done like 3 years ago. I'm not doing that now. I'm sticking with the game plan.
You sound like you're
The
super
most-
calm.
The most disgusting food on the planet is surströmming. We have opened 2 cans of it at the Barstool Studios, or at the Barstool office. The first time was in the office. Large can attest to this. It's like a nuclear bomb goes off. It is the most disgusting smell. When you open it and pull the food out, it's like the bones of a fish that you're just kind of eating. Anything that's fermented is gross, smelly. The taste isn't good. Surströmming from Sweden.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Yeah.
I don't either, but
S
It's the worst.
U with a little, what are those called, Large? An
So, it's an umlaut. Yeah.
umlaut.
umlaut.
Strömming. Surströmming.
Oh, this
There's
looks
a-
fucking terrible.
It's Swedish. There was a case where a guy, he didn't want to open it in his apartment, so he did it in the hallway of his apartment, and it smelled so bad that he was evicted. And then he sued his landlord, and it went to court, and the court favored for the landlord because it's that bad. Vibbs had opened it up on the third floor while I was doing Barstool Breakfast back in the day, and you could see it like just the stench coming down the stairs like chlorine gas in World War One. We put a towel on the door so it wouldn't get into the studio, and then Willie and I held our breaths and ran out of the fucking
Oh my
office
God.
as soon as thing. Surströmming is one of the worst things on earth.
That-
100%
Yeah,
What?
the worst.
But
It smells so bad, you're supposed to open it underwater.
Yeah.
It's supposed to help.
it's like you have to it's like the toilet treatment.
I know different cultures and people in parts of the world have different palates. I don't understand how you can. I'm looking at this shit and it looks like it's sitting in a ball, like just a pool of sweaters. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like in a disgusting, smelly like broth,
Yeah.
and then you pull out like the skeleton of a fish. Basically, it's like the spine and the bones, and it's gross.
What's the point? Like, how do
Dude,
people enjoy this?
Well,
This is one of those. So I'm like 50% Swedish on my dad's side. I have no idea how my ancestors lived because like if your option was this or death, you might just choose death. And like
think
how,
I would.
I don't know why like certain places just never figured out how to do any sort of food.
Well, I think it's because you have like Italy where the weather is warm and you can grow stuff, but as you go farther north to preserve food, you had to ferment it and do weird shit with it up in like the Baltic region. So that
Yeah.
was what they were
It's true.
what they were dealing with.
Man.
It makes sense.
Just like you guys just got to move like that. Like, like if you're hanging, maybe that's why they were Vikings and they just roamed all over Europe. Who were like we got to find better places to eat. Let's just go raid these places.
Like some chips.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Vibbs, see, that was a good history lesson. So I
Yeah,
think
it
that's
was.
a good
Yep.
pick. So good stuff.
History boys.
Large, you're up.
So I don't know if I'm going to go with weird stuff that people never heard of or with down the middle. So Vibbs, you're going to continue on with that type of surströmming type?
Yeah. I just I picked surströmming first. I knew you were coming for it, so
It would have been my
keeping that
number
down
one.
the vein.
Yeah.
Uh,
But otherwise, I think so. Maybe I'll start with something that I've tried, and then we'll go down something else. When I was growing up, every now and again, we lived in Atlanta for a year, and whenever there was a backyard barbecue or a cookout, one of the things that people brought to the cookout, which I just never understood, was something called ambrosia. You guys know that? Like it's
I thought you.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it, but I
Like
can't
baby
tell you
pork
what it is.
chops.
no, yeah, baby
It's-
lamb chops.
Yeah,
Oh
baby
my
lamb
God.
chops.
Imagine I fucking put baby lamb. Ambrosia is like mini marshmallows mixed with
It's like a
canned
fruit salad.
fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fruit salad with mini marshmallows on it, and I never understood it. And I always
Is that
found
your
it very-
Hawaiian salad?
That's the
not-
Hawaiian salad.
It's not
Pizza.
exactly the same as Hawaiian salad, but it's basically the same
Hawaiian-
thing. It's
I got
so
way,
gross.
I got way more. You said you liked it.
I do like it.
Okay.
Okay.
All
But
right.
it is gross.
It
Okay.
is gross.
All right. Fair.
It's,
fair.
I fucking hate marshmallows, but when
I
you
do
melt
too.
them over the fruit, it's.
Ew, gross. Even the
Yeah.
sound of that is gross.
But this, the one I was talking about wasn't exactly this, but I know what you mean. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's my pick. So
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
very-
I know of it as ambrosia, and I've only seen it out in the sun, and I do not like it. I don't like marshmallows, and I don't like fruit. Two things about me: I'm allergic to apples, and a couple other things that they spray on, like the skin of fruit. So I don't eat a lot of fruit, as you can probably tell. And so ambrosia, I do not like, and I find it to be extremely gross.
So this looks like the main ingredients are pineapple, mandarin oranges, marshmallows, and coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah. No thanks.
Okay, ambrosia. Chief, you're up.
I'll take haggis. Haggis is something that it's like known as being gross, and then I wanted to try it just to see how gross it was. There's actually a Scottish restaurant like right down the street from my parents. It's on 64, like west, if you know, like over by like those Wasco baseball fields. And we went
there
there
many
one time,
times.
and I'm like, you know what? Let's see what all the fuss is about. It's fucking terrible. It's basically just like the boiled stomach, and they just stuff all the organs, and it's kind of like almost like a sausage in a way, but it was like a boiled sausage. Is fucking
Looks
gross.
pretty fucking
It's
gross.
fucking gross.
I will say, everybody in the UK, their food stinks. Like boiled meats, and it stinks.
Yeah, but now it's
It's
like,
very edible, but it stinks.
But when you go now, they just get like Indian, like all the immigrants, like it's same as us, kind of. They like all the immigrant food is fucking awesome over there. Like you can have great meals in London.
No,
I never even heard of this.
Never heard of haggis?
I've never heard of it either.
Oh.
It looks gross.
Cottage
Yeah.
dish. Yeah, they just jam stuff into a sheep's bladder.
Yeah.
Right? I think
Is it bladder or stomach?
Stomach.
Maybe it's okay. Stomach.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
boil it off. We had Scottish Day here with Barstool Breakfast. We had somebody bring in a bunch of scotch, and they served us haggis, and it was actually pretty delicious. But
Really?
I had it. It was fucking terrible too.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, your point. It's like a forced sausage.
Yeah.
We had haggis out of the can on Lowering the Bar, and it was absolutely disgusting.
Anything
but
out
I've
of the
also
can.
had haggis prepared where it tasted solid, like good. So I think that depends on how it's prepared.
It's also a gross word.
Scotland have spices. Were they able to get like the China spice trade? You know that trail?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think the Brits kind of stopped those
They just have
spices
salt.
at like York. Nothing went north of York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
They
looks
had salt,
disgusting.
Yeah.
pepper.
Definitely looks gross.
It looks like you just opened up a stomach. Like you didn't put in. It's like whatever's digesting. It looks like that's what's in
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
looks
it's gross.
White Sox Dave, you're up.
I'm going to go with fluff.
Oh, like fluffernutters?
That is the most. If you try to get me to eat one of those, I'd rather you shoot me in the face.
I'm with you.
And I
That's a
love
good
peanut
one.
butter. I love peanut butter. But fluff is so fucking disgusting. Obviously, if I took a spoonful of it or whatever, I'm not going to puke my brains out. But just the sheer thought of it just grosses me out. That's it.
Yeah,
Fluff
I'm with
sucks.
you. I'm with you. It's fucking gross.
It's fucking gross.
I don't think it's good. I've never actually had it, like straight up. Like I've never had a fluffernutter. I've never had a scoop of it. But I guess it wouldn't gross me out. Although I would say it's like,
Marshmallow out of a fucking jar? No, thank you. Marshmallows are gross as all. We should just all fucking draft marshmallows next, like as a team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm anti-marshmallow myself, as the ambrosia had shown you. My kids sometimes do Nutella and fluff sandwiches on white bread. Make some, something like that, as opposed to a peanut butter and jelly, but I won't have any part of it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, taking fluff out, and I'm never like, oh, I want to put bread on this, and it's just.
yeah, I don't think I've ever had it. Like I said,
Yeah.
but maybe it's grosser than I'm realizing because I've never really experienced.
So I don't think I've had one since I might have been like 8 was the last time I had one.
Really?
And we were over at a friend's house. So I was like, oh, let's have a fluffernutter. And I took a bite and I was like,
Nope.
no,
I'm good.
And like I've been out ever since.
And that's when like an 8-year-old's supposed to like that kind
Right,
of shit.
yeah.
And it's still nasty.
Yep.
Ugh.
Marshmallows. I mean, s'mores have a place.
I
I'll
don't.
say that. S'mores have a place. Let's not slander
But-
the marshmallow game.
But you
too
got
hard.
you roast them though. They're fucking.
Yes.
It's almost like you're a craft single in a way.
Yeah, it's melted.
What do you say, Vibbs?
Does a peep count as fluff?
Oh,
Is
I
that like the
hate
same-
fucking
See,
peeps.
I was just about to ask that because that might have been
Peeps.
my next pick.
Peeps are gross.
All right, so peeps.
I mean, if you want to take peeps, you could take peeps.
Peeps are fucking disgusting, but I just went the marshmallow route, the more commonly distributed marshmallow route. But I'll leave that to one of you guys, even though I want it on the record that I was thinking about drafting it with my second pick. But I'm gonna go with Cheese Whiz, the little spray can thing.
That was on my list too.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. Obviously, if I put it on a cracker and eat it, I'm not gonna like make a face or anything. But
Same. Like it's so trash, but I'm like not grossed out by it, but I know it's gross.
It's
Oh, I
trashy,
won't.
disgusting. Ugh.
Won't touch it. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
It's gross.
Yeah.
It is. I admit that, but it's like Cheese Whiz large. I take it you're not a fan of that.
Is that the aerosol cheese?
Yeah.
the little spray,
Yeah.
When
finger
I was
push
in
thing.
grammar school, I had stole a case of church wine I was an altar boy, and then I had stole a big box of Hosts, and then we went back. We had I lived near the water in Brooklyn, and we got a thing of aerosol cheese, and we were putting them on the Host and eating the Host and drinking church wine. And I feel like it's probably one of the reasons why I'm going to go to fucking hell. So it's just a bad thing all the way around on that shit.
That's fucking nasty.
Cheese Whiz itself, I think, is good on a cheesesteak. Like Cheese Whiz type thing. Like
Yeah.
when I order a
But
cheesesteak, I do
I'm
that.
talking the actual
can-
The aerosol
brand,
shit.
yeah.
The squeeze cheese. Yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah. Good pick. That's a good pick, Chief.
All right, I'll go with peeps. I fucking hate peeps. I feel like, we just came out of Easter not that long ago. Peeps are everywhere. Peeps are fucking disgusting.
terrible.
I hate the way it's like. Have you
Is
ever
that what
like
fluff's like?
It's
fluff's like a spreadable.
Okay.
it's
It's a
different
little
texture,
like-
Yeah,
but same
but
thing.
But it's
Yeah.
like even like the look of them. You're like that. I'm gonna eat this fucking
Eat that little-
foam
little
duck or
crunch.
whatever. This foam rabbit. Those things fucking suck. And it's one of those. This is one of those things where like I will. It's almost like a cigarette. Like if I see a girl eating a peep, I'm like, she's disgusting to me now. Like
Yeah.
I like can't look at her the same if she eats a peep.
Vibbs, you enjoy peeps.
So we had them on the last episode of Lowering the Bar, where we saw how many we could put in our mouth. I like them for Easter because they get you, they're festive. I'll take a bite and I'll be like, all right, this isn't, I don't need this. Like they're not disgusting to me, but I'm just like, I don't want this. I don't crave this. I don't like peeps. I think it's a good pick, but yeah.
Obviously, it's not like haggis or whatever you
yeah.
drafted. I just don't have experience with that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Thank
No,
fucking
right,
God.
right. No, I
Yeah.
think peeps is a solid pick.
I don't fuck with Peeps. And then this Easter, my brother had small cans of Peeps flavored Pepsi.
Ew.
Pepsi-
What the
Peeps
fuck?
flavored
Who's
Pepsi
asking for that?
that
Pepsi?
they put out around it. So he's like, I bought a 6-pack of this just because I was curious. So I had tried it. We all kind of tried it, the tiny little cans. And absolutely terrible fucking aftertaste. Just an awful idea by Pepsi.
It was similar to vanilla Pepsi or whatever. Vanilla
Yeah, it had a
Coke.
vanilla-y
Yeah.
aftertaste to it, certainly.
It's genius though. People buy that shit just for a gag
Yeah.
or just for
Yeah.
just to take one sip and throw
Sometimes
it
I
out.
wonder if it has this vanilla flavor, and they're like, man, we bought too much of this. What can we repackage this as?
Yeah.
Fucking peeps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be peep flavored.
Let's move it on Easter.
Fucking peeps.
Frank bought a whole case for the office.
Large, you back up.
Popular Italian dish is tripe. It's a stomach lining of a cow. It's got a honeycombish type look to it, and it's what it is. It's the lining of the stomach. So if cooked correctly, I eat it. But when you cook it incorrectly, it breaks down and it has an almost phlegmy consistency to it.
Ugh.
So it's tripe.
Yeah.
Italians call it tripa.
Yeah.
Tripe. So I'm going to put that up there because I know it turns a lot of people off. Just even the look of it, the honeycombish, knowing that it's the cow's stomach, and then biting into like a little bit of chewy phlegm.
Oh, it's so bad. So I feel like I told this story on a show we did recently, but I had my buddy from college did like a study abroad in Peru. So when he came back, we went to a Peruvian restaurant, and it was like a BYOB. All the staff only spoke Spanish. All the menu was totally in Spanish, And he was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm fluent. I just got back from or no, he went to Ecuador, but we were at this Peruvian restaurant." And he's like, "I speak Spanish fluently now." And I'm like, "Well, what is this?" And it was tripe. And the waitress goes like, "Vaca." And so I'm like, "Oh, is it?" And my buddy's like, "Oh, it's ribs." I'm like, "Oh, I love ribs. I bet
you
you
just told me this. Yeah.
Yeah, was it on camera or no?
think so.
And I'm like, "Oh, like I love ribs. Like you bring all the ribs. And they came out and it was like this like orange like honeycomb. Like it was. I took a bite and I'm like, "Well, I'm not eating tonight. Like this is fucking terrible. Thanks a lot, Pete. Fucking idiot." So it's gross. That was gonna be next on my board.
Have any of you guys ever had menudo?
The soup, right?
Yeah, it's a Mexican soup with I believe it's out of stomach and intestines. It's actually very good, but it's also you're eating stomach and intestines.
Yeah, this looks gross, Large. Never had it.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
not good.
gross.
Some of the pictures make it look like a chicharron, which are fucking incredible, but
Awesome.
this isn't deep fried, right?
No, so like you chicharron, you have it from pork fat, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a
you
pork
fry-
belly.
Yeah, so you're frying it up, the fat off the pork belly, which is awesome. I don't even think you can get a chicharron consistency if you were to deep fry tripe because it's not fat. It's an actual like a muscle from a stomach lining. So yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
bad.
thank you.
This is
delicate
like
balance. Yeah.
I'm glad we live when we live now because this is you just had to eat this stuff to survive. Like it was like, well, you can't throw away that fucking tripe. You know?
No stone
Eating
unturned.
every
Yeah.
bit of the
Perfectly good
animal.
tripe.
Yeah.
So we
Vibbs,
did-
you're back.
Yeah, we did. Oh well, we did tripe on Lowering the Bar, and it doesn't have a smell that is disgusting, but the look, the texture is so gross. I think that was one of the episodes where we got the most like dry heaves from people. Fights obviously was puking on it. But it was a tough one. So Large, I think that's a great pick.
That's great. His Fight's just your guy where it's like, we need old reliable.
Yeah.
We need to put a quarter in the machine.
Old Faithful, yeah,
Fights
you
is the
know he'll
closer in the
spew.
bullpen. We bring him out when we need a good puke.
I love that he never says no too. It seems like he'll just
See,
like
I'd say no.
Yeah.
With all due respect to Vibbs.
I'm trying to think if Fights has ever said no, and I don't think he has. He's a trooper. Yeah, Eddie said no to the hot chip right before he got on a plane, and that might have been the best decision he's ever made in his entire life. Like, the hot chip takes lives.
I had to, and a lot. You even were like, yeah, you can't before flying. You can't. You'll be fucked that whole flight.
Yeah. Smitty like passed out. Like it's rough. My pick.
Yeah,
Right?
you're up.
Okay. I kind of want to. All right, I won't pick on like the Baltic region. I'm gonna go durian. That's another. It's the world's
It's a
smelliest
fruit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's banned on public transportation in Singapore. It is like it's spiky, has a spiky shell on the outside, but when you cut it open, it has these like almost like a mozzarella cheese type fruit consistent in it, and it smells terrible. And the taste and the texture is kind of cheesy and kind of thick on your tongue. It is horrendous. It's so gross. But I've seen like the wonton don.
That's
eat it, and
yes.
it's not bad.
He's a
It's-
crazy
it-
person.
Donnie's
It doesn't look that nasty.
Donnie's crazy. Some stuff does fuck him up, and this.
When we were in
This-
the Dominican, he
acquired
brought
taste.
that up. He, because I don't know how he got on the subject, but we were talking about the grossest things he's ever eaten because he's eaten all sorts of gross shit. And he said durian fruit was the worst thing he's ever consumed in his life. That
Oh,
or
wow.
a starfish, I want to say, he said.
We had something recently that was pretty gross, but yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to trip up the wonton don and
Right.
PFT, and sometimes we'll have something that they struggle with, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is not good. So, yeah,
I think it's one of the only things Andrew Zimmerman doesn't eat. You know that guy Andrew
Yeah.
Zimmerman from Food Network? He kind of looks like
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't eat mayo. He doesn't like mayonnaise. And I think durian is one of the only, and that guy is eating everything. It's like a Fear Factor type thing. So
right.
yeah, that's a good one. And you're right. It looks like when you open it up, it's pretty, right?
Yeah.
It's spiky but it's got
It's cool
cheese in it.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of like a pineapple with cheese inside.
And durian's one of those that even though it's a weird one, I feel like a lot of people know about it. Maybe it's just because of Donnie did this like years ago
Yeah.
too. I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was one of his first episodes, maybe he said, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick. All right, back to me. Yeah, mine are more basic, but I'm gonna go with pickled eggs.
I don't know if I've ever actually.
There's something about seeing them. If you ever been to a bar,
Yeah, like an old time bar.
yeah, dude. There was
You're right.
there was this bar I went to in college, and they just had a Hannibal Lecter's, like they used the head that Hannibal Lecter put the jar in, and they put eggs in there, and people would buy them and just wolf them down at the bar, and it was disgusting.
It's gross. I feel like it was not Cool Hand Luke, but there's a movie where like this guy just like sits there and eats pickled eggs. And I'm blanking on it.
Is it the ladies' man where they're at the bar and they have all the
No, it
pickles?
was like it was not like a com. It was not Tim Meadows. You're talking Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
that was definitely not.
That's
it.
a wild guess after he dropped Cool Hand Luke from the
Well,
60s.
yeah, Paul Newman. But no, they're in the bar and there's all the pickled shit in there.
Yeah. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
I fucking love pickled eggs. There's a place in Long Beach, California. It's called Joe Jost's. And for people who have been there, it's relatively famous. They serve only one beer. I think they serve Busch Light Draft. And they serve it in these like glass chalices that they freeze. And the Busch Light is so fucking cold that it almost gets like a layer of ice across it by the time they give it to you. And they have their own I pickle my own eggs too. I'm a real fucking robot. But so you go to Joe Joe's, they give you pickled banana peppers in a little, paper boat, pretzel sticks, pickled banana peppers, and a couple of pickled eggs just drenched in black pepper with an ice cold beer. And that's fucking
That sounds
living.
like it hits the spot.
That actually, the way you said
Yeah.
it was so much passion. It kind of like maybe
I would
changed
say
my mind.
so we were going in between like a Ryan Garcia in LA and Canelo in San Diego. So I stopped in there with like Kelsey and Rob, the guy from Branded Content,
Yep.
and a couple of those dudes, and we jumped in there and we had a fucking ball. I mean, believe me, I was moving the sheets that night. Like they don't treat me that well. A couple hours later, tap beer and fucking pickled eggs.
Yeah.
But holy shit, I would go for hours with you guys at Joe Joe's right now.
Oh, dude. Do you acknowledge that they're gross, or are you like, no, you don't?
You know what? I can definitely tell. Like when I pickle mine, I put a little beet juice in them too, so they get to be like that purplish
Purple.
consistency.
That's what I'm seeing, yeah.
Yeah, my brother puts turmeric in there, so they get to be that deep yellow, almost orange consistency. And when you open up that jar, which you can keep in the fridge for fucking weeks, it's like a modern marvel. It does have that sulfury, vinegary smell to it, but there's nothing better to drink cold beer with than a pickled egg. But I do get it. I do get that I'm a fat alcoholic, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, pickled eggs, man. PK's in Carbondale, just.
I would like to try one right now.
It'll be ingrained in my head forever. All right. I need one more. Hey, before we go any further, I want to talk about the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, and that's none other than Game Time. You guys know the drill by now. Make sure you're using that promo code DOGWALK because, listen, Game Time was created by fans for fans. It's a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. I went to Cubs opening day with Game Time. It was that easy. The Wrigley Field is about a mile away from the office. We were just sitting there. We had no intention to go. We hopped on Game Time. We're like, whoa, seats are actually pretty cheap. Let's just hit it to a couple taps, and boom, we were in the friendly confines before we knew it. A lot of concerts going on this summer. There's Luke Combs is coming up at Soldier Field. There's Morgan Wallen at Wrigley Field. Bruce Springsteen at Wrigley Field. Make sure you give Game Time a look when you're looking to go to those shows. Because really anything's possible with the Game Time app, because the biggest last minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds. And once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text, so you can get into the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email and redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. All right. Interested to see how this one's going to go over, but it's something that's always grossed me out, especially when it's sitting out and you are applying it yourself. Sauerkraut. There's something about fucking sauerkraut that gets me.
It is kind of gross, but I love it.
It's also one of those words that I have certain words of foods that like gross me out. Sauerkraut is it's like ugh.
I'm sure
sounds
everybody
gross.
does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's like a build your own brat stand and it's just sitting in a tub and it just you just look at it.
I load it up.
Oof.
But
I don't care.
but it's actually I kind of like it too.
To each their own.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but to me it's gross as fuck.
No, I get it. It is kind of gross, but I love it.
Large, you made the face like you
man.
love it too.
This isn't going to turn into all food stories for me, but I was.
That's why you're here.
I was in Frankfurt for business, and we were there for 24 hours, and I was about to get on a flight after an all-nighter with these German guys who we were just drinking like we lost a loved one. And the next morning I go and I said to the woman, I'm like, I'm doing pretty poorly. I need something to eat. And she's like, I know what you need. And she gets me a big fucking stein of this Weiss beer, again, ice cold. And she gives me something called a slaughter bowl. I've never seen it before in my life and never seen it since. And it had a crock of mustard, a big thing of brown bread. And in this bowl on a bed of fucking hot sauerkraut was every grilled sausage and meat that they had. It was called a
Sounds
slaughter
delicious.
bowl. It was one of the best fucking meals of my life. Honestly, I licked the bowl fucking clean. I love sauerkraut. I'm sorry, Eddie, and I don't mean to shit on these things, but again, I eat stuff I shouldn't eat that much.
No,
my
no,
gout
no.
is actually itching right now.
Listen, Lars, you're not shitting on it. And also, if you're in fucking Frankfurt,
it's
a little different. That's probably
when in
really good.
Frankfurt.
I'm talking about the one here in America
where you get it
you
in
know
a
what I mean?
jar.
They just put it in a fucking tin,
Yeah.
and it just sits there, and you self-serve with the tongs, and it's disgusting to me.
Large, how do you
I'll-
spell that? Is
What's
it like
that?
slaughter, like
Slaughter,
English?
like you're slaughtering a thing. I've never seen it anywhere. White Sox, Dave. Never seen it, but it's called a slaughter bowl.
My sister lives just outside Frankfurt right now. I just asked her if she's had one.
What were you gonna say, Vibbs?
I was gonna say, Eddie, I'll defend you. I like sauerkraut on like a Reuben, but whenever I go to the ballpark and I see people in front of me getting sauerkraut on their hot dog, I'm just shaking my
Not
head.
on a
because
hot
I
dog.
just-
You do it on a
Gross.
brat. Do it on a big
Brat,
ass
whatever it is.
sausage.
Yeah. Sorry,
Dump
sorry,
mustard
I
on
forgot.
it.
You
Get
guys
it
are-
all over your face and clothes. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that in 2 days.
Vibbs,
Gotta
you're
go.
up. Vibbs, you're
I
up.
pinch a little between the cheek and gum right now, to be honest with you. I love it.
We should start dipping sauerkraut.
Vibbs.
So I'm gonna shy away from the absolutely disgusting out of left field things for this one because I'm afraid this one might not come back to me. I'm going to, but we have done this on Lowering the Bar. This is a Christmas tradition. Claxton fruitcake. It is the most disgusting baked good of all time. It is hard as a rock. There's disgusting whatever fruit in it. It's no one has ever wanted a fruitcake. Claxton fruitcake.
I think this is the
Horrible
one
tradition.
I did the lowering the bar on this, I believe.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
gross. It's there's so many other baked goods you could have during Christmas time that are acceptable. Fruitcake.
Listen, I don't think it's gross, but I agree there's just no place in society for it anymore. We've moved past it.
Certain things deserve to go
It's
extinct.
inedible.
Yeah. It's
I had it on my list too. I grew up in a household that ate it. My mom would make custard and pour it over the
That
fruitcake.
would make it a little better for sure.
Yeah, and like a vanilla custard almost, and my dad would eat it.
Something
Crazy, but I fucking
soften it up.
It's got dried cherries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The custard on it would soften it up. That might make it
Maybe.
a little better, but it's so dry and hard. Yeah.
Yeah, the pictures do look. Maybe it's grosser than I remembered. Because I'm sizing this up
It's
right
bad.
now. Yeah.
It's Is it just fruitcake as a whole or Claxton fruitcake?
Claxton fruitcake.
What's
yeah.
different about that versus normal fruitcake, I guess?
Claxton's a brand, and
Okay.
I think they mentioned it on Christmas Vacation. That might be the kind. No,
Oh, really?
I
This
think so.
this man's coming for
Claxton
Claxton's neck. He doesn't want just any fruitcake. He
Claxton is
wants
over
Yeah.
party, yeah.
It's the tradition. I think it's just the traditional fruitcake. I think it's like the number one. It would be like I don't know, like I was gonna try to think of the number one ice cream, but I couldn't. I don't know, like fucking Rocky. What is it? What's the number? Edie's.
Yeah, something
Briars,
like that.
maybe.
Briars.
Yeah, we're not
Briars.
taking down brands here.
It doesn't matter. Claxon fruitcake.
Yeah. Large, you're up.
I don't know. I'm still tempted to go weird, but I don't know if I'm going to do it just yet. I might go. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but gefilte fish. Have you ever had it?
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
I was gonna bring it up in case it didn't get drafted. There's an outstanding Jewish deli, and it's in Winnetka and Evanston up here that I used to go to prior to Northwestern games when I was young. The last time I went there, you get a corned beef sandwich for like $25. It's super fucking expensive, but it's worth it. It's awesome. It's called Kaufman Deli. Many people listening will have heard of it. Aside from that, they had the gefilte fish just like everywhere in this deli. I will never touch that shit if you paid me $1 billion fucking dollars. That, and then like you said, the name just creeps me out, but it is so nasty. So nasty. That's what I thought you were kind of drafting with the Sir Stramming or whatever. It's like similar to that.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, but Kanye West doesn't eat or doesn't approve of stir strawberry. Wait, I fucked that joke up. It's a Jewish dish. I didn't want to offend the tribe by bringing up gefilte fish being disgusting. So it's actually not bad. If you get it out of the jar, it's disgusting, but it's not bad.
I should say that jarred gefilte fish, because if you do get it in a deli where it's not packed in the jar, it's almost packed in like a jelly, right? Mm-hmm. And it's minced white fish and whatnot. And when they do it in a jar, they pack it in this like briny jelly. And I've had it a couple of times, smeared on a cracker and whatnot. And it's awful to look at, awful to taste, and awful to smell. So yeah, I'm staying with the gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. Chief, you're up.
All right, I'm going with something that I just personally hate, and I've tweeted this before, and I got a lot of pushback, but I don't care. I'm going with pickled ginger when they put it on like next to your sushi. That like pink, like it's supposed to be a palate cleanser or something, I guess. I think it's fucking disgusting. I hate I might start doing this. I've never done it before, but be like, hey, like no ginger. Like get the fucking ginger out of here, because I don't like the texture of it, the smell of it, anything. So that pickled ginger with sushi.
This is the worst pick of the draft so far.
Why? I love it.
No, I think it's solid. And then the taste like seeps into the sushi that's like touching it near it, and it ruins it.
I agree. Sometimes you lose a piece. Sometimes you lose a piece if it gets too much on there during delivery. Yeah, it's gross.
Sushi pieces are like currency basically too.
They are. You like pickled ginger?
Yeah, I eat it every time I get sushi.
Ugh, gross. Yeah, I know.
But it looks appetizing too. Like
the pink, like the little.
I don't care for it.
Yeah, I think it's gross.
Of ham.
And I like ham, but this is I think it's nasty.
It has almost like a spiciness to it.
That's what I think of it as. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And I know people use it as a palate cleanser, as Chief said. Now a lot of people like ginger root, like just for the health benefits and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm not a ginger guy across the board.
I'm with you. I do enjoy like a little Christmas time gingerbread cookie, but I don't think that's too similar.
That's spice though, right? That's
it's different. The same plant though.
Dave, you're up.
Okay, so this comes from a personal story that I had just yesterday. We had donuts in the office, and I accidentally took a bite of a Boston cream donut thinking it was just a regular donut with the chocolate on top, and I wanted to puke my guts out. Boston cream donuts are fucking disgusting. Yeah,
they're gross. I don't like them either.
I agree. I think they're disgusting as well.
It's always I will avoid the shape, because I'm like, it might not be one that I just like, I'm out. Just give me. And you guys always make fun of my favorite donut is just an old fashioned donut. But you wouldn't rather have an old fashioned than
I definitely.
Yeah, old fashioned donuts
I have
are great.
to have a donut. Yeah. But I'm sure you can make a good one with like quality ingredients, but like the processed custard or whatever's in there, the cream. Ugh.
No thanks.
Nasty.
There's nothing worse than grabbing a donut, hoping it doesn't have cream in it, biting into it, and finding out there is cream. It just, what a ruiner.
Yeah. Yeah, I think donuts should have holes.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
Same.
Maybe a jelly every now and again.
I'll eat jelly donuts.
I don't even like that.
But otherwise, yeah.
This is like a low-key good outside the box pick, Dave. They are gross.
Yeah, they're very gross. And my next pick, God, I got a bunch of one. You know what? I got three. I got 3 picks down. I'm going to go with something I would go to war for that I love that much. It's that good. But at the same time, like when you think about what it is, it's absolutely disgusting. I'm going to go with Taylor ham / pork roll. You guys can debate that. I don't care. I always called it Taylor ham. With my mom being from Jersey, that's what she called it. But Taylor ham is fucking disgusting. I will eat an entire log in one sitting.
I don't think that's gross food at all.
It's all the guts, and it's a giant hot dog, and it's packaged. It's
I like hot
delicious,
dogs.
Yeah, I don't think
I
it's
love
gross.
but it's so fucking gross when you think about what it actually is.
Huh.
Didn't you cook it here one time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I knew you guys would like it too. Without ever having it.
One time, White Sox Dave took a picture at the airport of a Taylor ham large, and Vibbs, and he was like, "Here we go. I'm bringing this for you, Ed. It's got your name on it. I want you to try this," because Dave's like, if he really enjoys something, he'll want to show the people, and he showed it to me. It was in the conveyor belt. It was ready to go through security. And
It set off the thing. I had to explain to him what it was. It's smoked, though. It's preserved. You can have it outside the fridge for a few hours.
He comes
You'll
back
be
to
fine.
Chicago, and then I realized, like a month later, I'm like, "Hey, Dave, like, you never brought that ham to the office." He's like, yeah, I ate it. Sorry.
I think that's right when the world shut down from COVID. So yeah, but I did it the second time. But you can travel with Taylor ham. It's smoked and preserved. It's fine for a couple hours.
No one's
obviously.
debating that. He's
no,
just debating like, hey, I
But
brought
no,
this
he
home
did.
for you, but I ate it.
Because I did it twice. The first time I did just eat the whole thing. The second time he's like, wait, this hasn't been refrigerated for a few hours. I'm like, it's fine. Trust me.
South Jersey people go crazy when you don't call it pork roll. I guess because down there they have a couple of other different brands. Like I've only seen pork roll as Taylor ham, so I exclusively call it Taylor ham. And I live in northern New Jersey, but that's a huge Jersey thing. You call
Point
it
of
pork
debate,
roll,
yeah.
Taylor ham, yeah.
I always called it Taylor ham, and then it wasn't until I was affiliated with Barstool and more people from that region where people would freak out if you called it Taylor ham, because Taylor's the brand, pork roll is the brand, is the actual product.
Fuck, I wish I could find the picture. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gross, Dave.
It's just all the guts and
Well, I had
extra
it once,
shit of
but
an
it's just
animal.
kind of ham.
It's delicious. It's gross though.
Chief, you're up.
All right. I'm going to take a specific brand of something that I find it offensive. And they keep telling me it's ice cream. We've talked about this before. Halo Top ice cream is the worst fucking ice cream on the planet. It's always freezer burned. You take a bite, it's like you have to throw it away. And they market it as this little healthier type of ice cream.
That's exactly why though.
But don't sell it. Don't sell it. No one wants to eat it. It's fucking terrible. It's the
horrible
worst
pick.
ice cream. It's the worst ice cream on the market.
Because it's not actually really ice cream. It's just
And there are better, that Rebel kind is good.
Never tried it.
There are healthier, I would have an avocado ice cream before I would have that
So,
shit. Halo Top fucking stinks,
I think it was
and I hate it.
Sunday night. Sunday's my actual cheat day.
What's your regular
It was
cheat day?
8, well, the weekend as a whole. But the Sunday, it's just pizza, fucking multiple Uber Eats orders, go bananas. I ordered a pint of ice cream. It was 1,300 calories for a pint. I finished it. Halo Top, obviously they take out all the fat, all the milk, all the everything that makes ice cream and good. And that's why they sell it. You don't have to buy that.
Yeah, and I won't. It's terrible. It's terrible. We're drafting things that are gross.
Yeah,
This is gross.
It's a draftable pick.
It's definitely draftable.
If you think it's gross.
But
It's disgusting. I hate it.
It's
And I think they
it's
should
sold as that basically.
They should they try to market it as the healthier good ice
I
cream.
mean, it should exist because
Yeah,
people look for
exactly.
alternative
Exactly.
options.
Dude, how about just have less ice cream?
Well, yeah, I know.
So you're
No,
telling this company because you don't like their product to
No,
just
they can.
fold?
No, I'm not telling them to fold. But if I were a person hey, I'm so desperate for ice cream, but I can't have it all the time because it's not healthy, I would just be instead of doing it every weekend, do it every other weekend.
Vibbs, you got
Something.
anything on Halo Top?
I've never tried Halo
Good for
Top
you.
ice cream. I love
Don't.
ice cream though. Dave, don't change. It's in a pint. You eat the whole thing. I like Turkey Hill. Turkey Hill's great, but I haven't done Halo Top.
Have you had it
Like
large?
cheap ice cream now.
Yeah, I've gotten
What's
I've
up?
gotten hooked into it. Like,
You
Yeah.
like it?
yeah, no, I don't. Like,
Okay,
so
all right.
the thing is, the packaging obviously looks like a regular pint
It
of ice
does.
cream, whatever. They have great flavors. So all of a sudden, it's like it's almost unbelievable. And I don't know I think they use stevia as opposed to sugar.
Something
And
like that.
Like the
what they
Breaking
put
Bad
on
stuff.
the thing saying like to Dave's point, 1,300 calories, where Halo Top will put like 120 calories. So
Yeah.
you have to try it.
You do.
And it's brilliant marketing. And I don't know of anyone who's tried it and is like, oh man, that's fucking awesome.
No, nobody
So-
does.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's-
on earth does. But
Yeah.
you know, you get what you buy for, or you pay for. Like it's exactly what I expect.
Yeah.
Large,
It's
you're up.
awful. But it's awful.
Thank you, Large. Large, you're up.
Oh, I'm up?
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go with Jello. I don't enjoy the texture of Jello. I don't like any.
Jello
You know,
stinks.
Yeah, jealous.
Yeah, I don't even think I have to explain it.
You really
just
don't.
watching it wiggle, and they even like the tagline was, see it wiggle, watch it jiggle. It's not good. So I'm going with Jello. I've never been in a place where they'd offer Jello and been like, oh shit, yeah. I've
Yeah.
never ordered it. Some people, if you go to like buffets, it's in like fucking dessert buffets.
Yeah, like Vegas vacation.
Yeah,
buffets.
it reminds me of old people, like hospitals
Yeah.
tend to like do a lot of Jello. It reminds me of stuff that you eat when you're recovering from something.
Wisdom teeth.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just got a huge stigma around it. So I'm going with Jello.
Jello's brutal.
It's good.
Yeah,
pick.
it's-
I
it
appreciate the
fucking sucks.
temperature of it though. When it like the
The
cold
chilled.
and the coldness of it. You know, you could ice your knee with that fucking thing.
I remember like my mom wouldn't get it for us,
Cold
and I always wanted to try it, and I would like be like, "Oh, come on, like we get." And then she finally like, caved, and I had like one bite. I'm like, yeah, this is gross.
Good.
Yeah,
I'll take Jello shots, but I don't enjoy taking them.
Good temperature.
I was gonna say I don't like Jello shots. Like I'll do it, but I don't like having
Yeah.
to like finger.
I know,
the
you
cup
gotta-
and then
the
lick it
whole
like I'm
the whole
Stephen
thing is
King.
gross. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
It does make it easier to take shots though.
It does.
Like from like the alcohol.
It's a cheat code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you just get the gross, slimy.
You could
Jello.
also.
our forefathers could hear you now.
I'll just like gulp the whole thing down. I won't even chew it.
No,
Like
you
that,
just swallow
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Vibbs, you are up.
I'm gonna go with. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it 100% correctly. Karl. It's fermented shark. It's from Iceland. We've done this on Lowering the Bar.
a hot Carl.
Smells terrible. It's shark, fermented shark. This shark doesn't have kidneys, so its urine like filtrates through its like muscular system or whatever. So the meat is like tainted with piss. So they hang it to like air dry for a certain amount of time, and that makes the meat good to eat, in quotes. So it's just this chewy, gross shark meat that tastes like fish and smells completely horrible. Plus, there's traces of piss in it. So,
Ugh.
fermented shark, Karl.
This looks gross, Vibbs.
It's so bad. It's like a fish jerky.
Ugh.
It's so chewy.
Bourdain said it was the single worst thing he's ever put in his mouth.
Who said that?
Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain.
Rest in power. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
Oh, it looks awful.
If it was a little smellier, it might be worse than surströmming.
Ugh.
Damn.
Just because it's so chewy and thick to eat.
Oh man, that's bad.
So are all sharks like that? They don't have kidneys?
I don't know. Like,
No, just this is it the Icelandic shark or the Greenland shark?
Okay.
The Greenland shark.
Okay. Gross.
Yeah.
So I think because it lives in such cold water is
Yeah,
the reason
you
why
gotta
that
get that
happens.
piss
but
running through your
Don't
body.
quote me on that.
That makes sense. I won't look it up, but it makes sense to me.
All right, back to me. I'm gonna go with a candy. I know fucking social media Danny loves this, and it's disgusting. I'm going with hot tamales.
I hate hot tamales.
Oh, I hate hot tamales.
Dude, gross.
Ugh.
Dude, I think all like the cinnamon,
Yeah,
flavored stuff.
candy,
Big
gum,
red.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Agreed.
Hot
Red
tamales
was
are
good.
brutal.
when you're drinking, like to try and cover up your breath before you go home to your parents.
Yeah.
We used to chew Big Red.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, but any of that shit.
Yeah, Tim Greer likes them too. It's gross.
That's one of those ones when you got them on Halloween, you're like, shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perverted stuff.
Yeah.
It really is perverted stuff.
If you gave that out, you deserve to get egged.
yeah,
TP'd.
yeah. All right, I need one more. Listen, I don't like it. I truly don't, and I know it's probably, I don't want to say 70-30, 80-20, but the people who hate it. The people who love it, that's just natural. I'm going with ketchup. I think ketchup's gross. I don't like it. I think when I see, not even Dave, it's not even that when you put the ketchup on the hot dog, like I don't care about that, but the way you lather it, there's something about it that's just like, it is gross.
I like a little fried Dunkin' ketchup.
Oh, fucking drown them in ketchup.
I like a dip. I don't
See,
like a
and that's the
drop.
thing. You get
Yeah.
a ketchup guy who loves it. He'll just that's like the biggest fucking bullshit thing. Who just drowns it and they just put it on before anyone could even say anything.
Can I tell you what I think is gross?
What?
Is when people put ketchup on eggs. I draw the line there. But in general, I'm good with ketchup.
Don't
If I'm
like
in
ketchup.
a pinch, I'll put it on eggs. If
What
I'm just
kind
like
of pinch would that be?
like 10 minutes, I want to whip up a quick scrambled eggs. I'll throw cheese, eggs, and then I'll
What type
pop.
of pinch would that be? Like, what?
Like you're rushing out the door and you're hungry and you got a snake
No,
trap to get to.
But, yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But that was my question. Like, maybe you are out of hot sauce and you just can't.
I don't
take
like
it.
hot sauce on breakfast food, but I love hot sauce everywhere else. I don't know why I'm a weirdo like
But
that.
I think we're still trying to find out why you would need ketchup to add it in the pinch.
Because it's just that plain.
But they
Just
see, I feel
scrambled
like-
eggs.
I think eggs and cheese is better than eggs, cheese, and ketchup.
You wouldn't eat. I mean, obviously there's a burger part, but you eat eggs, cheese, and ketchup on like an all cheval burger.
Eggs, cheese, and I don't think I get ketchup on an au cheval burger.
Do you? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I forget.
You got any non-ketchup people? Large Vibbs.
I want to put it on
I
Friday.
think
though.
that I know this is going to sound very specific, but if you get ketchup in one of those squeeze bottles with the small opening, and you do that over a little bit of fries, where it's just like a thin little stream,
Yeah.
as opposed to the gloopiness that comes out of a ketchup bottle, I like that 10 times better.
Well,
Just a little tiny, like at a bowling alley,
Yep.
like over hot fries at a bowling alley, like a thin stream of ketchup. That's it.
I think that's part of the equation with ketchup is the bottle, because when the ketchup bottle like farts, you're like, ugh, like I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's so many.
And
And,
the
when
little-
it's super cold.
The pre-cum, like the little ketchup.
Oh,
water.
I hate that.
Yeah,
Hate that.
you
Mustard
gotta
does
shake
that
it.
too.
You
Mustard
gotta
does
shake
that
it.
too.
Oh, the
Yeah.
ketchup.
They've
pre-cum.
kind of like gotten. I feel like that's a relic of the past, because now they make them
Up
that are
upside
upside
down,
down.
yeah.
Like
No.
yeah,
Is the glass bottle dead?
It might be. I haven't seen it in a
I
minute.
think it is.
that's
It might
a
be.
shame, because that was an icon.
That was an icon. I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
the only thing I'll stand with ketchup for, was just seeing it plopped on the table
Yeah.
of a restaurant or a
And you just,
diner.
like, and then it's like everyone knows the same trick. Like you hit it on the 57,
Yes,
and
yeah.
it just
I'm a
was
ketchup
America.
guy. I enjoy ketchup on many things. I don't even think the ingredient. What is it? It's just vinegar and
tomato paste and sugar.
Sugar. Yeah, a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
yeah, dumped in there. But
You put ketchup on your steak,
it
right?
doesn't. Yeah, every steak. The foods that don't really have a shelf life are gross, and I feel like ketchup's one of them, even if it does or doesn't.
Yeah, like it could be in your fridge for
forever.
like 4 years. and-
Yeah, you'll use it and you'll be
Then
fine.
it has
with
like
it,
the
you know?
dried like crustiness.
Yeah,
on,
and then
on
when
the
you
top.
open it, yeah.
yeah.
So I know majority of people are gonna be like, "Yo, ketchup's awesome," but there is like a
I don't
there is a
even know-
faction that think ketchup's gross.
Dave, is ketchup getting the Nickelback treatment?
I don't think so.
I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, oh,
On
I
Chicago
hate
hot
ketchup.
dogs, that's dumb though.
Yeah, but that's
Fucking-
not my argument. Just to be
No,
clear.
I know
it's
that.
not like
That's the
I don't-
dumbest thing
I don't
Chicago
think-
does.
I don't think it's fair that people say ketchup is like a children's sauce. Like, oh, you're
That's
not grown
stupid.
up, so you put ketchup on everything. I think that's stupid.
You put ketchup on really shitty food,
I think ketchup's good.
like a hot dog.
I agree with that too, Vibbs. For the record,
You a barbecue sauce guy?
Yeah, like
Yeah, which I know. I like barbecue sauce, which I know is crazy because it's largely ketchup based.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that.
But it doesn't taste the same. Ketchup's got its own taste for sure.
That was like one of my favorite things back before. My dad, I don't know if you guys know this, my dad banned Burger King in 1996. I haven't been back since. But then their little chicken tenders and their barbecue sauce was fucking awesome. Like Burger King.
In the little square.
Yeah, they had
Square
great
container.
barbecue sauce back in 1996. I don't know if it's still the same. Probably not.
Vibbs, you need your 5th round pick.
All right, 5th round pick. I'm torn on this because there's still a lot of disgusting things. Go with this one we haven't tried because it's illegal. Like it's just illegal worldwide. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
You're good.
Okay, all right. So this one is illegal. Kazu Marzu, also known as maggot cheese.
Ew.
I don't know if it's Italy or France this is, but it's cheese that has maggots crawling inside of it. I want to say the maggots kind of made the cheese. Large, you might know a little bit about this. I think you tried it one time at like a food club.
Yeah, I tried it at the New Deal. That's where I tried all that weird shit. I don't know the origin of it though.
Okay.
How was it?
Let me.
You know, like we talked about it a couple of times on Twisted and on Lower in the Bar. I used to belong to a food club in Manhattan. It was called the New Deal. So I've done stuff like ortolan. You ever hear that? Where you do the little birds.
Oh,
The eggs.
is that the thing that they showed in Succession?
That's what I think I know what you're talking about.
I've never seen
I think so.
Succession.
Okay.
But they drown them in Armagnac, then they pour hot oil over it, then you put these fucking napkins over our heads, and we ate them whole. So we used to drink, like they do all that type of shit. And a lot of it was illegal, and I wish I would have remembered it more, but I was drinking a lot. That's what it is.
Do you like to drink, Large? We
I'd
should
love to drink with you, Dave. I don't think I've ever had like a proper drink with you.
I can't wait for you to come to Chicago. We gotta.
I mean, Eddie was talking to me about it last time he was here. It's like I used to go to Chicago a lot,
Yeah.
and ever since I've got guys in Chicago's now that I like, you guys, I don't go. It's like I'm doing it to fucking spite myself. You know?
Next time you do make that happen, I want to go to a nice dinner with you, and I will get the check, and we can all order and
No.
I'm not getting the
what
check.
we want to eat.
No,
Get all the food.
You got to follow Large's lead. That's where you like. Please, you will admit you'll take a backseat to Large.
If I
Oh no! In your town, if you want to take me to your place and order, I'll eat anything.
that
So if you
has nothing to do with why he's leaning back. I'm not yelling at you, Large. I'm yelling at him out of my peripherals.
Here we go.
If I
Okay.
want something, I'm gonna order it. If you guys want to eat it, cool. If not, that's cool too. I'll
eat
pay
it.
for it.
I'll eat it.
All right, Kasu Marzu.
as simple as that.
Good pick, Vibbs.
Maggot-
That's
yeah,
disgusting.
Maggot cheese made of goat's milk, aged for 3 months, and it's got larvae in it.
Ugh.
And the larva hatch and kind of crawl through.
How can?
And like I said, it's illegal. You can't buy it.
Yeah,
or
it's,
make it.
I'm usually not for the government just banning things, but I'm with them on that. Just get rid of that fucking maggot cheese. We don't need.
Yeah,
that.
I want to say it's like FDA can't. It's not FDA regulated, obviously.
Yeah.
You can't have bugs and cottage cheese and.
Large, you need your last pick.
So I'm going to go then kind of the Vibbs route, stuff that you, I think maybe only half the population enjoys, maybe more nowadays. But I think I'm going to go with cum. You know. So in Papua New Guinea, there's a couple of tribes that save semen and they eat it. You might say, well, no, Large, you drink cum, you don't eat it. I don't do either. But they're dehydrated, as am I. So it has more of a pudding-like consistency that you would take a spoon to it as opposed to a straw. I think the idea of eating cum is probably one of the grossest things that I can think of. So I think I'm going to close strong. Even though it's not available commercially, I'm going to close strong. And with my 5th pick in the gross foods draft, I'm going to go with cum. Who's up next?
I mean, what?
Chief, tell us what it tastes like.
I watched Chris Pontius eat horse cum once.
What?
Chris Pontius,
Who's that?
one of the Jackass guys.
Oh. Yeah.
I saw it once on on Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Where they had donkey cum.
Yeah.
And you had to like fucking ingest nearly a cup of it. I showed it. It was the first podcast I ever did here when Kevin and Fights, before I started at Barstool, they had me come in and do KFC radio before David offered me a job. And I told him about that, and Fights threw up during the thing. And I have to be honest with you, if you guys put up that graphic that you do, and my graphic is like ambrosia, Jello, whatever, and the last one is cum, I think that's a great fucking graphic.
It's gonna be a great
that's what actually got Fear Factor off the air.
Really?
That donkey cum episode.
Right. So it's something that's eaten. It's something that's eaten, and if you guys want to be racist and pretend like it doesn't, that's fine. But otherwise, it's cum is number one with a bullet for me.
Is there a word for it? Like a
semen?
I know what cum and semen is,
Jizz,
but
jizz.
Or I know what jizz. I know that. Baby batter.
Baby batter, yeah.
It doesn't have some nice word to like Rocky Mountain oysters.
So honest to God, I think that the Papua New Guinean word for it is something a little bit, exotic, but I'd like to have it just as cum.
Meet the tribe that drinks semen to turn boys into men.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
My
dude?
freshman year of college, had to take a sociology class.
And you drank cum?
No, but they showed us a documentary, and they were trying to be like this, like this isn't gay in other cultures. And it's like this is pretty fucking weird to be having in your first college class. Was
That's
talking
what they
about
showed you?
this.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like the first week of class
Damn.
that they showed a documentary about those people.
Chief, you're up.
That professor's trying to.
All right, I don't really know how to follow that. I'll take Spam. I'll take Spam, the canned fucking Hawaiian meat. I have had it. I didn't hate the flavor, but I hate the look and the
name.
The name.
Spam.
It's
the can.
But I ate it was like sliced, almost like it was not. It was like a part of a charcuterie board. And I just tried. I didn't know what it was. I just tried it. I'm like, oh, it's not bad. They're like, that's Spam. And I'm like, that's fucking disgusting.
It's the same thing as Taylor ham.
Oh, is it?
Basically. I don't think I've ever taken a bite of it. I know what it is. I see it, and it always piques my interest because I'm like, is that our version of Taylor ham?
Meat coming in a can is just disgusting.
Is that true, Large?
Well, I think it's both forced pork products. I think Spam, just the fact that it's in a can and it has that little layer of jelly around it, so you have to puncture the can up top for it to kind of splork out like dog food, makes it a little more gross, I think. Because Taylor ham is normally, right, Dave? You get it in that log that has the burlap around it.
Right.
So I know Spam is huge, like Spam musubi in Hawaii, because after, the Hawaiians eat more Spam than any other, state of the union. I love calling it the Union, Eddie. So they'll do it on a little bed of rice with the seaweed wrapped around it, and it's fantastic, I think. But I could definitely, it's off-putting.
Yeah, when you
that's the word
when
for
you
it. It's
think about it, it's gross.
And you're right, it's a gross.
Like
word.
a hot dog.
It's a
hot
gross
dog's
word.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, but a hot dog,
it's delicious.
and it doesn't sound gross either.
Yeah, right.
Spam sounds fucking gross.
If they had a nice, pretty word for it, it would be.
They should
a lot different.
call it something with like a Hawaiian sounding name.
Hawaiian ham.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it has a reputation for being gross too. So
Does it?
yeah,
I thought people liked it actually.
No, I don't think so. I'm sure people enjoy everything to a degree.
I always thought of it as one of those things that you assume you won't like until you try it and then you like it.
I'm looking.
I like it. I mean, I think the name came from spiced ham, but if you look at all the different flavors that they have for it, it's pretty wild.
They did 268 million in sales in 2020.
You can get it at any
2021.
any local grocery store.
David, Mr. Irrelevant, you need a pick here, pal.
Now, This is also one. This is like all because I've never tried any of the shit that Vibbs and Large are talking about. But I'm going with boxed mac and cheese, like the powdered or the Velveeta cheese. Get rid of it all, nuke it, put it on an island, nuke it until it glows. It's fucking disgusting.
This is one of those.
I'll eat it, of course, but
this is one of
it's
those.
disgusting.
Velveeta grosses me out more, but this is like the Kraft mac and cheese or even Velveeta. This is one of those things where I know I'm supposed to hate it, but it's fucking. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I get your argument, Dave, but it's good.
It hits it. I haven't had it in probably 15 years, but like it hits the
Like
spot.
if you a nice homemade macaroni and
It's awesome.
cheese, it's the best thing on earth.
Yeah.
Boxed macaroni and cheese where it takes you 5, no fucking way. Ugh.
Out of the box is good from time to time, though. What do you think about people that put ketchup on their mac and cheese?
Disgusted.
It's-
I lived with a guy in
think
college
that
who
it-
did that.
I
It
don't.
made me
I do
wanna
not.
puke.
I mean, I won't eat this I won't eat this type of mac and cheese. But like we have it at the office. That's like a 5-year-old.
What about if you put ketchup?
And I know I just.
Will you put ketchup on your mac and cheese if you're in a rush?
It'll pinch.
No, because I won't eat it. Like I like scrambled eggs. I don't like that stuff. No,
Yeah.
I won't. I won't ever consume that.
I knew a guy who would put like diced up hot dogs in his mac and cheese.
Yeah,
and that
that's
was,
the
Yeah,
same
I've seen
too.
that.
See,
Yeah,
I don't.
that's-
I didn't like that, but I've had like
Yeah, that's gross, too.
little diced up pepperonis, and that was fine. But the hot dog one grossed me out.
But if like, I follow a million different just foodie accounts on Instagram, and it'll be like a nice Frankfurter hot dog, not just like the ones we throw on the grill, like a good one. They'll put a layer of mac on top. I'm like, that looks fucking incredible.
For
But
my niece,
go ahead.
For my niece, I make her box mac and cheese, and then the hot dog. You put a little hot dog in it, but you cut it and make it look like a little octopus. You can make it have little like legs. Put it on there. It's great. It's fun.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
perfectly fine for a
Child.
A child.
She's 4. She is 4.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like the poor man's version of a dish that we all like. So if you get a mac and cheese where it's got almost like that cracker crumble on the
Yeah,
top.
exactly. Like they could be
you know,
served at Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah, like an elite mac and cheese,
Yeah.
and you go to that. It's comparatively it's gross, and I don't eat a lot of it. But I know in my house I have them now. You don't even have to do the boxes. They have the microwavable fucking cups.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. We have them here.
Yeah, and my kids eat them.
small.
My kids do eat them, and I haven't disowned them yet. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Dave, what do you think about shaped macaroni? Does that taste better or
No,
worse?
I don't like it. I know it's the exact same thing, but it tastes different to me.
there is
Tastes
some.
better.
I agree.
I don't
Well,
like it.
I think
I
it
don't.
depends on
I'm
the
with you
shape.
100%.
I don't like the texture of it. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I don't like it.
SpongeBob, whoever, tastes better than the fucking standard macaroni noodle.
Yep.
No, I like the noodle. I think more
I mean,
more
that's
times than
that's
not.
unsurprising
Why?
because I don't know.
I'm on his side.
No,
I feel
Vibbs,
like
you
I-
think the shapes taste? Everyone thinks the shapes taste better, right?
Oh yeah, and SpongeBob is the best tasting shape.
Yes.
I've never had the SpongeBob shape.
Get
Gotta
some
get on
SpongeBob
that.
next time you see
Can I
him.
tell you? I'm not going to do that.
I figured. I figured. All right. Well, we'll do some honorable mentions. Then we'll read them off. Then we'll vote who gets left off. And we'll get out of here. Vibbs, you have any honorable mentions?
I got
here?
a question. How are we voting on this?
What do you mean?
Like, are we voting for who has the grossest or who has like the best? Like,
Well, it's who had the worst board, as always.
I know, but it's like this is one of those ones where it's like, are you picking the grossest or with the whatever? I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think you're in your own head here.
Maybe.
Who has the
This is a
least
harder one.
Yeah, it is. Vibbs, you got any honorable mention though?
How many am I allowed to have?
You could say as many as you want. We could just we'll just touch on them. Sure, just say what it is, and then we're gonna vote who gets left off, and then that's it.
All right. One of the ones that I had was virgin boy eggs, which are eggs that boys pee on in a bucket. They sit and they soak, and then people eat them.
Gross.
I
That's
feel like
virgin
that's
boy
not
eggs.
actually something.
That's a real thing. That's 1,000% a real thing.
Huh.
There's even an episode of like Nathan For You where he's like joking around with like the guy behind the cash register. And then he's like, "Is that like the grossest thing ever?" And he's like, yeah, he says something about virgin boy eggs, and they're legit. That natto is Japanese fermented Japanese soybeans. They're disgusting. Jellied moose lips, and then jellied eel. Those are the ones that I kind of had in my back pocket.
Large, you get anything you didn't get to?
I know a lot of people get turned off by black licorice.
I
Good
had that on my
one.
board.
I hate
Same.
black licorice.
Licorice is
Yeah.
disgusting.
Like I know very few people that are and people who, like your point, Eddie. People who love black licorice love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never been a black licorice guy.
Like a
There's a
Twizzler is
sweet-
nasty.
There's a Swedish black licorice that's salted. So it's black licorice covered in salt. It's disgusting.
That is gross.
But I'll have a little bit of anisette, as an after dinner drink or something like that. But
Yeah.
just the black licorice candy, not for me.
So like the
Oh, and
digestive.
chitlins.
What's
You
that?
guys ever have chitlins? It's like a southern dish.
I feel like I've heard of that, but it's
Yeah, it's a small intestine of a pig, and it's very close to the asshole. So as you're boiling the shit out of them to clean them, literally boiling the shit out of them, it's just an absolute. It's awful, and it has like I didn't use it because it has a very tripe-like consistency. But yeah, chitlins. It's like an old school southern thing. I think
That
the
looks
real name
gross.
is chitterlings.
That looks
But
gross.
yeah, that's all I got.
You guys got anything else, Chief?
no. I mean, nothing that. Yeah.
Dave?
I had hot dogs. They are gross. Love them, but they're gross. TV Salisbury steak or TV dinner Salisbury steaks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
So
like
gross.
plantains. I think plantains are gross, but
Oh,
really?
my god, those are like the fried plantains.
I don't like them.
Those are delicious.
Just give me a banana instead.
I like them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Gummy
Well, it wasn't
worms,
on my
saltwater taffy, mayonnaise, which I also consume, crabber and groons, which I enjoy, but they're cheese and fried crab. Gross. Imitation crab often. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
And then powdered mac and cheese was my leftovers.
All right, so now I'm going to read them off, and then you guys got to vote who you think had the worst draft. So I don't know if Large or Vibbs, you guys have a piece of paper. If not, just write it down on your cell phone, notes or something. That would suffice. I'll read it off right now. Eddie, Kraft single. What?
Suffice?
That will suffice.
Thank you.
Sorry. Apologies. Eddie, Kraft single, pickled eggs, sauerkraut, hot tamale, candy, ketchup. Vibbs, surströmming, durian, Claxton fruitcake, Hakarl, kazu marzu. Large, ambrosia, tripe, gefilte fish. Gefilte fish, Jello, cum, Chief, haggis, peeps, pickled ginger, Halo Top ice cream, Spam, White Sox Dave, fluff, cheese whiz, Boston cream donut, Taylor ham, boxed mac and cheese. All right, Large, if everyone can reveal who they have in 3, 2, 1. Large, who do you got?
who I'm voting off?
Yeah, who you're
Yeah.
voting off.
Unfortunately, it's you, Eddie,
It's
because
me.
a lot of stuff that you did is I love.
That's fair.
Same.
Chief voted for me. Who do you got, Dave?
Chief.
Okay, who do you got? He has
I said
Dave,
Dave.
and I have Dave as well. So then Dave is the only unique vote. So Dave, I assume you're not going to vote for yourself. So that leaves me off, correct? Unless if you want to vote
Oh,
for
wait,
yourself.
explain.
So you and
There's
Eddie
two
are
votes.
tied
There's
two
two votes
apiece.
apiece.
And you voted for me, but so now your vote, like you have to. It's like a political thing. Like you have to throw your.
You're fired.
Correct.
You're fired.
I knew ketchup would do me in, so I'm not surprised.
It was more of the sauerkraut
and
the-
sauerkraut
yeah.
and
and a Kraft single on a
And
burger.
I don't even-
and the
Good.
pickled egg story that I was
Yeah,
like, you know
I
what?
was
I want to
intrigued
go
by
to this
that, too.
bar.
I want to go to Joe
I kind of want to just
Los
go to his
Angeles.
house and have one of a
Yeah.
homemade pickled egg.
And I voted
Yeah.
for you, Dave, but I don't think you're necessarily bad. It's just
I went.
Those were the-
See, I
But it's
Vibbs, with all due respect, if you ever ask me to eat something nasty, I won't do it because I will puke my fucking guts out. I don't do that kind of shit.
That makes you a team guy. That's why Feidelberg always does it.
It wouldn't be funny. I don't think.
It's hilarious every time.
Oh, that's what makes it funny.
Yeah,
I'll
puke
say
is-
this: the
puke's
only other
funny.
person that's ever said they'll never do lower in the bar is Rico Bosco. So
wow.
It's a unique
That's
company.
fine. It,
He gave me the same speech
I'll
he
say
gave
no.
me.
I didn't say I'll never do. I have done lowering the bar. I won the multiplication tables, I believe,
No big deal.
company wide.
yeah, he has done it as well. but
I'll
he
try the
was one of first
spiciest shit on the planet. That I don't care about. I like spicy stuff, but like gross stuff, like durian fruit
Yeah.
or whatever, count me
Not
out.
doing it.
ones. Yeah.
All right, Large, thank you. Vibbs, thank you.
Thank you.
That was it.
Thank
That was a
boys.
joy.
Good comeback.
You know what? Large, get your ass out of Chicago. Vibbs,
was
you can
fun.
come too.
That was
Obviously, I didn't want to invite him without inviting you, but I want to have a nice
Fucking
dinner with
Dave.
Large and his.
Vibbs, I'd love to have dinner with
Yeah.
you too.
Yeah. It would be great.
I would love that.
Just the
I
five
do
of us.
plan on coming out there over the summer at some point.
Oh, great.
Vibbs, please. It would be great
Yeah,
to have you.
we'd
at
love
this
to have you.
office.
Just not as much as they'd love to have me. Vibbs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was from
honestly.
Dave, not from
Hey,
us.
we just want to hang out with Large.
Vibbs even gets it. He understands it's Large. Large
Yeah.
is Large.
It's like, oh, you want to hang out with LeBron James or the lead singer of some shitty '80s band?
I
Guns N'
wonder
Roses?
if your
I know
fans
Guns
did
N'
like
Roses.
baby lamb chops, I'm wondering what they're gonna think of cum.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go check out Lowering the Bar, Twisted History, Rubbing is Racing, all of it. See you guys tomorrow.